Ladies and gentlemen, we interrupt your regularly scheduled programming to bring you this special bulletin. Welcome to your daily dose of a day late and a dollar short. I've been out of the loop for a little while, but hey, we're going to talk about stuff. At least I get there, right? Can you imagine being in an industry, being part of an industry that you actively despise? Now, some of you will sit there and go, yeah, my 9 to 5 job that I go to every day. But that's not necessarily what I mean. Being a developer in video games and talking about how coming out admitting, probably anonymously, take this article with a grain of salt, because again, it's anonymous. But as a game developer, to come out and say that you dislike the audience that you are creating things for, that you are making a product for, I think that's a little bit different than your average blue collar, white collar, red collar, orange collar, 9 to 5, and sometimes much, much later, job that your average individual goes through across the world. Because in order to become, it's a little bit, what I mean is it's a little bit more of a specialized field, not necessarily something you go and apply for when you have zero experience whatsoever. But just imagine actually actively hating the people you are creating a product for. Article from Park Place. Yes, it's a week old, but we're going to move on. Anonymous game developer admits, quote, "I kinda hate gamers," calls Asmongold viewers bigots. Now that's a bit of a stretch on both counts. But an alleged game developer, again, take this with a grain of salt because, hey, it's anonymous, posted anonymously to the game dev subreddit, admitting that he hates gamers and that members of Asmongold's subreddit are bigots. Well, to each his own. Reddit user, Likely Sprite, who claims he works on a racing game, titled his post in the subreddit, "Am I allowed to say this? I kinda hate gamers." He went on to explain, let's see, do we have a screenshot? Oh, that's too small even for me. That's what she said. "I'm a professional game designer and I'm worried that I'm starting to hate gamers." Well, maybe you should reevaluate your choice of careers. Watching the game events on YouTube last month with the chat on was an extremely disheartening experience. Every time a character that wasn't, oh, Jesus Christ, a cis-het white man, I guess I need to be reading this in a better accent. Every time a character that wasn't a cis-het white man appeared on screen, the chats would fill with messages calling the game woke and complaining about DEI. Every game that wasn't a shooter or a hyper-casual competitive online game garnered Z's and boring comments. Welcome to the internet. It's what trolls do. It's what people do when, I don't know, they're astonishingly bored with something that is supposed to get them excited. And all they see is, oh, look, it's another same thing, cookie cutter, copy paste job from last year. Why are we supposed to get excited about this? Oh, and the use of cis het white men. This, oh Lord, this one little thing right there makes me believe that yeah, you are actually a game developer and you shouldn't have your job. Let's see. The quote continues. And got ahead of myself. And then I checked Twitter and it says people complaining that the MGS3 remake is not yellow enough. What the hell does that even mean? People telling me there are right ways and wrong ways to beat I guess he's trying to say Elden Ring, and people hating on the new Dragon Age because the trailer doesn't match the tone that they imagined for it, he continued. Well, that's, again, trailers are put out there. Whether it's video game, TV trailers, or movie trailers. Trailers are put out there to get people excited. And when someone, in the case of the new Dragon Age game, when people are accustomed to a particular feel, look and feel of a game that they played for decades, and then all of a sudden, the new iteration of said game comes out, and they look at the trailer and go, hey, that doesn't look like anything I've played before. I don't know if I'm going to like it. Other things pop up as red flags for people if you go digging into what the developer has said. Oh boy. But the trailer itself, I think people are justified in criticizing it because, again, like I said before, that is the purpose of the trailer. He then added, I've seen people implying that the MC in the Fable trailer is ugly because she is fucking hideous jawline. Because it's a self-insert. Well, it was shown. Everyone said that it wasn't actually a self-insert. Said a hideously ugly fucking character, but whatever. Of some random level designer working at Playground whom they deemed not fuckable enough. Okay, cool. Again, like I said before, welcome to the internet. The vast majority of the kind of comments you're going to get, the people who actually are going to be bothered to make any sort of comment, probably, what do you think? 50% or 75%? I lean closer to 75%, are going to troll you. They're going to troll the trailer, especially considering the state of female characters in video games. Oh, Mary Jane, I believe, in Spider-Man 2, that jawline from hell, what they did to Eloy and kind of chunkied her up, Nikocado Avocado. And then we get the Fable trailer with that jawline, almost looked like she has a mustache. And yes, I'm sorry, your cis-het white male gamer's gonna complain. And I got news for you, your cis-het white female gamers. Hell, female gamers across the board and male gamers across the board in general. So I guess that can't really be across the board if it's in general. Let's go with as a majority, are going to complain about it because we like to look at attractive characters. We want to get away from the real world. We want the power fantasy. We want the overly attractive, half the time unachievable look of the protagonist, whether they are male and female. And it's kind of funny that other people have brought this up, and I'm going to bring it up too. The male protagonist, there's no problem whatsoever making that the big hunky hunk across the board for all these different video games, almost making them look directly like their voice actors time and time again, or the people that they are modeled against look just like them. No problem whatsoever. But you start adding the females in there, the women, the female, whether it is the voice actor, the model that they're portrayed against outside of Stellar Blade, then the attractive meter pretty much bottoms out. Why is that, you think? The quote continues, I don't know. It's just the internet magnifying negative voices, I guess. Get off the internet. Doing what it does best. Well, there you go. You actually admitted doing what the internet does best, especially if you're on Twitter or X. The cesspool of negativity that if you ever want to feel better about yourself, well, actually, maybe don't go to Twitter. Huh. But it's making me real tired of gamers. Boo and who. When one user pushed back on Likely Sprite and informed him that, quote, anyone who unironically uses cis-het to complain about customers is not developing a game that will be commercially successful. The alleged developer responded by doubling down. Thanks for proving my point, cis-het gamer. My God. Do people in the real world actually talk like this? Actually use words like cis, hetero? Huh. Likely Sprite would also reveal the entire purpose of the post. To troll, probably. Quote, I made this post to vent. You vented on the internet. That is probably one of the worst ideas possible. Go vent to your colleagues, to your friends, to someone that's going to go, oh, it's okay, you poor, poor dear. I understand exactly how you feel. They're going to pat you on the back, get you a mocha chocolate latte and a cupcake, and let you go take a timeout in the safe room. If you do it on the internet, oh, tarred, feathered, strung up, figuratively in Minecraft, don't do that on the internet, because you're going to be called to task over and over again. Happened for me a few times, and that's okay. Tangent. I made this post event. People are free to comment whatever they want. Obviously not, because you had to criticize people for making a comment. My work is to tweet numbers. Tweak. Ha! Tweet. sorry, X on the brain, on an Excel sheet and then implement the fine-tune the changes in the game engine. I have zero use for gamers' thoughts on race and gender, even though that's what you're complaining about. Make this make sense. However, when one user responded to his post suggesting he was too hyper-focused on gender politics, which is what they talk, it's what you talked about. It's what you brought up in your original post. Not yellow enough? Cis, het, cis, white. I don't even fucking know what that means. Cis, het, white, male gamers. You're the one bringing up gender, sexuality, and yet, when you're called out for being too hyper-focused on gender politics, admitted he actively lives a lie. Oh, really? Quote, I'm not hyper-focused on gender politics. I just happen to... Oh, God, of course. I just happen to be trans. Should I apologize for existing? No. Who cares? What does that have to do with the discussion? This is... When you want to complain online and someone calls you out and calls you to task for the nonsense that you're spewing, and you respond with, I just happen to be trans, should I apologize for this? I feel no pity for you. Shut up and go do your job. No one is criticizing you for your identity. No one's asking you to apologize. No one's actually bringing it up. Simply saying that maybe you're too hyper-focused on gender politics because that's what you're bringing up over and over again. Then maybe they're right and you're the one that, well, anyway. The game developer would also refer to members of Asmongold's subreddit as bigots. My goodness. Let's see. Circulated online, and it's just a cross post to the Asmongold subreddit so bigots can circle jerk about it. As noted by former World of Warcraft team lead Mark Kern, known as Grums Online, this alleged game developer hates gamers, quote, because you are obviously political and insist that everyone accept and love your overt political messaging in games. You want compliance, and gamers aren't giving it to you. That is correct. Over and over, gamers are kind of waking up to this nonsense and, well, shutting it down. We're not interested. We're tired of the hideous models for women, and yet we're supposed to accept it and as normal. Well, maybe we don't. We've had, and when we do fight out, when we do scream out, and we do complain about it and fight back against it, we are accused of simply, you just don't like strong female characters in your game, despite the fact that Metroid is a rather popular franchise, despite the fact that you have countless movies with strong female characters that stand the test of time. Yes, I'm talking about Sarah Connor and Ellen Ripley in Alien and Terminator franchises over and over again. All you have to do is write a good character, make them moderately attractive, and nobody has a problem with it. But constantly, over and over again, you get one trailer after another, one game after another, TV show, movie, one after another after another. We're supposed to like it. You're supposed to like it because it has a strong female character. Because reasons. That's why. And yet the story comes out and is absolute dog water, and we complain about it, we criticize it, and we're what's the word? Misogynist. We are istophobic. We are bigots over and over again simply because we think your story is trash. Maybe, just maybe, instead of focusing so much on what people see as gender politics, all this cis het nonsense buzzword, maybe, I don't know, focus on the story, focus on the gameplay. I'll never get tired of saying it, but I hope you don't get tired of hearing it from me. Put your gender identity, your political messaging, put that on the back burner. Focus on making the good game. Focus on making the good story and the good character first and foremost. And then maybe you'll come to a realization that you don't, maybe you don't hate gamers. Maybe, no, I'm not going to go down that route. Give us some good games and maybe you won't get responses of ugly this and boring that and non-stop woke this, wokety woke. Make it a good game first, and maybe the sentiment will change towards your nonsense. But let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Leave a like, leave a dislike, do all those nifty little things that YouTubers beg you to do, and I hope to see you on the next one.